Good afternoon. Okay, you're here, Abdullah Zahid. Please take a seat. Relax. Tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Abdullah Zahid and I'm a resident of Dehradun. I did my electrical engineering from Jamia Islamia, where I published a paper on smart tripping circuit in an international journal. Then, sir, I have co-founded an NGO called the ILM Foundation, working for underprivileged children. So apart from this, I have done a job in Siemens Limited for 1 year, and sir, I love playing cricket as my hobby.
Okay. Right.
Okay, Abdullah, tell me, why do you have to use a step-up transformer for transmission of electricity?
So we transmit electricity at a very high voltage so that the overall current can be reduced and the losses can be reduced. Because of transmitting certain power, voltage into current will remain constant. So if we increase the voltage, they have to reduce the current, and that will ultimately reduce losses and increase the efficiency of transmission.
The I square.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now tell me, what is the inherent loss which is there due to the system?
So in transmission system,
So tell me the percentage, how much energy is bound to get lost because of this effect?
so at this point of time, like we have around aggregate technical and commercial losses, which amounts to 20%. So out of this, 6 to 7% amounts to technical losses in the form of heating and other things.
So what are the other losses?
So we have in technical losses, it amounts to mainly heating, and in commercial losses, there are a lot of problems with respect to billing efficiency, collection efficiency, power theft. Because of all these things, we have aggregate technical losses of around 20%.
Average is about 20%.
Yes.
On the current time, it was 48%. So now, so theft of electricity. How is theft of electricity? How does it take place?
So there are various mechanisms for this. The first one is there are people who use the wire conductor by putting the wire. This second one is about distorting meters, which hampers the collection billing efficiency. Apart from this, there are other things like sometimes the error get crept into the meters, which is also one of the factors.
So do you think that after this introduction of smart meters, this problem has been taken care of, or still they have ways to bypass the meter also?
Sir, as far as I can understand, this working with smart meters, sir, mostly wherever the smart meter has been solved, the problem of billing efficiency has been mostly resolved. However, the problem of collection efficiency still persists.
So now, in case of theft of electricity, where will you register a case? Under what section? Which law? Will it IPC or some other law is there?
So as far as I can recall right now, there is a Center Electricity Act under which there are relevant provision for tackling this problem. Thank you.
Okay. You're from Uttarakhand, so there's a Char Dham Yatra project.
Yes, sir.
Lot of, I think it's creating a lot of ecological problems. So what exactly is the issue with that, and what compromise has been finally realized, and what is, can you brief us about the Char Dham project? Because this Silkara thing was also there.
Sir, Chardham project is about like expansion of the roads and connecting the four dhams. So, however, as per the recent newspaper reports, sir, it has reached the Ministry of Road and Transport guidelines of having a road of 4.5 meter, because this road is much more wider than 4.5 meter. Apart from this, sir, there have been reports that to bypass the EIA, the section of the road, like I think the upper limit is 100 kilometers. So that has been divided into various packets so that EI can be bypassed. Apart from this, there are a lot of unsustainable construction, like sir, dwelling into the deep slopes without having proper EIA. So these are the concerns which are leading to ecological problems.
So, capacity of any hill station, say from Dehradun to Mussoorie hill station, the maximum which can take from the tourist point of view, like in summer season, that should be limited. So, suppose you are the DM of somebody falls under you. So, how will you ensure that how will you regulate the movement of tourists? What will you do so that if such problems like what happened in Yoshima can similar thing are not repeated?
Sir, firstly, as a district, I will assess the previous documents and the previous records of the tourist footfall. So, based on that number, I will I try to put a upper limit during the peak season. Apart from this, sir, we will do proper marketing for attracting the tourists in during off peak season. For example, we can attract them during October days. Apart from this, there have been cases of lot of infrastructure development which were not as per the EIA. So as a DM, I will ensure that all the projects are completed after proper EIA only. Apart from this, we can also promote the concept of ecotourism, which I will try to align with within the policies.
Complete wicket.
Yes, sir.
What do you do? Is it batsman, bowler, or a
Sir, I am a right-arm leg spinner.
right arm?
Yes, sir.
So now, tell me, there's a term in cricket. I carry my bat. Like if I say that Abdullah Zahid has carried his bat in this way, what does it mean? Abdullah Zahid has carried his bat in this inning.
Sir, it means I have started the inning. I came as an opener and I remain not out until the last ball of the inning. Thank you, sir.
Right. A last question to you. Maldives issue. Do you think that we have failed in our foreign policy? Your view.
Sir, in my opinion, we have not failed in our foreign policy because, sir, we have Maldives has been our strategic partner since a long time. So, about the current situation, it is more about mismanagement and more about domestic politics, which has manifested in the form of India Out campaign in Maldives.
So what are you doing? What is India doing?
So we have formed a group with the Maldives counterpart, and we are trying to address their concern by replacing our defense personnel with a civilian personnel about the maintenance of our aircraft and the other things. Thank you.
Welcome. Today we're talking about sports.
Yes.
In Pakistan, we are not having any bilateral sports ties.
Yes, sir.
But recently, one of our team visited Pakistan. Which team has visited?
Yes, sir. As far as I can recall, it was about tennis tournament.
Which tennis tournament?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure about the name.
The famous tennis tournament.
I think it is Davis Cup.
What about the result?
I'm sorry, sir. I have to read about it. I'm not aware about it.
And some cricket tournament, something like that.
So in Pakistan,
No. So what about it?
sir,
Has happened, sir.
sir, we are having a test series between.
Then multilateral.
Sir, it is in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. There is a tournament
Which
happening.
tournament?
Sorry, sir. Actually, there is one tournament happening in South Africa. South Africa 2020.
Some World Cup was happening.
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay, sir. Under 19 World Cup is happening.
So, yesterday was the final.
Yes, sir. Yesterday was the final match between India and Australia.
Who won?
Australia won.
Martin? Score
So
line?
it was around 74 runs.
Yeah, I'm seeing your gap to choice of services. Thanks and lives in these areas.
Yes,
Where you start 15 years below the cup, how do you want to enjoy that journey? What is our resources?
sir, I have filled my various preferences by discussing my seniors and my the colleagues. So basically, in Dynamics and Dynamics, we get the opportunity to work at the grassroots level. So because of this, this was the primary reason for which, because of which I have opted Dynamics and Dynamics with higher preference.
After exhausting the choices for so-called good services, the new services and the auditor accounts, maybe other things. So then you come to the services.
Sir, in my opinion, all the services which we have are almost good. But sir, I have felt this by discussing with my seniors, and they told me about the various things about these services. Keeping all this in mind, I came to the conclusion that it can be kept at 7th and 8th.
Tell me, what is the size of the economy right
And so right now it is about $3.5 trillion.
now? When did we reach 1 trillion?
Yeah, sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall it right now.
We are talking of mixed market.
Yes, sir.
And by 2047.
Yes, sir.
As per the present yardstick, what should be the total size of economy at that time?
Sir, as per the various it's estimated it should be around $30 trillion.
And per capita income at that point of time?
Sir, for that I have to read about it. I'm not exactly
What is
aware.
the per capita income right now?
Sir, per capita income right now is 1,15,000.
15,
1.5, yes. 1,15,000.
50,
50, 15,
5,
1.5.
1,15,000.
Yes.
Very good.
So I'm not able to recall the source. I have read it somewhere.
If you want to figure, tell me, see, last 2-3 years, US economy was not doing very well, but the dollar was getting stronger. For the reason of dollar getting stronger, the economy is good.
The same in developed countries like in the US, to tackle the inflation and all this, they have increased the interest rate. And because of this increase in interest rate, there have been a lot of capital outflow from developing countries like India. And so this has ultimately led to depreciation of rupee, and dollar became more stronger.
See, there is old pension scheme and new pension scheme.
Yes.
Both the states have already adopted new pension scheme. But many states, staff associations are demanding reversal back to old pension scheme. Some states have done it.
Yes, sir.
If you are posted in a state and you are staff association in that state demanding old pension scheme, and you have been given a task by the government, your seniors, to talk to them and convince them NPS is better. How do you do this?
Sir, firstly, I will understand their concern of why they want to go back to old pension scheme. So after this, I will tell them tell them all the criteria and all the advantages of enrolling in a new pension scheme. Because sir, if we look at the numbers, most of the people have not enrolled in NPS scheme. Because of that, they think that we won't be having any pension. But if I think, in my personal opinion, if we can tell them the advantages and the security which is brought by new pension scheme, and this problem can be tackled.
Can you give me some specifics? What some specifics you can give me so that you give them something very good so that they go back and drop their goals.
Sir, right now I don't have the data, but as far as I can recall, like sir, there are certain minimum amount which one will get after enrolling in NPS as well. So it, depending upon the premium we are paying, there is some amount which they will
It's the
get.
major case of the goal of intention. There is a fixed amount, there is not fixed. That is the, you have to say this unfixed amount will be better.
So I have to read about this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Abdullah, you studied electrical engineering in your bachelor's. And it seems that there is a certain disconnect between electrical engineering and administration to be. What will you bring from the field to administration?
As an engineer, I have learned many things like problem solving aptitude, breaking down complex problem into small silos and then working upon it. Apart from that, ma'am, as an electrical engineer, I will bring domain expertise, which can be leveraged in projects like renewable energy, smart grid implementation, and all these things, ma'am.
Alright. Your mother happens to be from Muzaffarnagar
Yes, ma'am.
and your father is from Bijnor.
Yes, ma'am.
That region is known as crime capital of India. Do you see why is it called so?
Sorry, ma'am, I would like to disagree on this thing because, ma'am, there has been a lot of improvement in the crime rates and the law and order situation in this part of the state. Ma'am, I don't think it is a right thing to call it a crime
But
capital.
why were there any specific reasons for it to have ever been a crime capital?
Ma'am, earlier, as far as I can understand, there were a lot of organized gang which used to operate in those areas. But in the recent time, in the last 3-4 decades, all these things have almost been eliminated, and the situation is right now very conducive for the development and prosperity of the region.
What do you think were the measures that were taken to do away with these gangs that you mentioned?
Ma'am, firstly, the government has focused on development. There have been a lot of industries like sugar mills which have been developed in the region. Second, ma'am, there have been a lot of increase of police station police personnel which are engaged in regular patrolling and surveillance. Third, ma'am, there have been a lot of focus on implementing infrastructure project. All these things have basically ensured a prosperity in the region. And apart from this, there have been stringent enforcement of various IPC and laws. So all these things have overall improved the situation.
Coming to Muzaffarnagar in particular, Muzaffarnagar recently saw, or at least some time back, saw some communal tensions. Can you list some economic and sociological reasons for the communal tensions in this region?
And if we analyze the economic reasons, there have been it is basically agrarian economy in this area, and there have been a lot of agriculture stagnation in this area, which has exaggerated inequality between the communities. And apart from this, ma'am, there have been low manufacturing base when it comes to industry. These were the economic reason. And when it comes to social reason, ma'am, in a social domain, the demography is mixed in this area. There are around 43% from the minority community. So, ma'am, and there are certain historical fault lines which were which were exaggerated during the time of 2013 social conflict. And these were the reasons which had caused recent communal clashes.
Alright. I'm trying to test your solution timing approach here. I'm giving you a certain situation wherein some rumors were spread and some groups managed to get some harms. After which, of course, the grassroots democratic institutions like panchayats, they came together and took some communal decisions. There was also political pressure upon you. You are the district collector. What steps will you take to mitigate the communal tensions?
Ma'am, firstly, as there have been a lot of rumors, so I will contact the social media team of the government, and as well as I will contact the media to dispel all the rumors and will provide the relevant information. Second, ma'am, regarding the uh, uh, communal various steps which have been decided by the communal groups, I will ensure that all the decisions which have been taken by them that they will be negated. For that, ma'am, I will ensure that there is adequate patrolling and deployment of the police personnel. And at the same time, I will revive the peace committees which might have been established in the area to which will consist members from all the communities to diffuse the tension. At the same time, ma'am, I will ensure that I will myself go to the ground level and do the flag marches to ensure that the situation remains conducive.
Alright. Do you know of any such model peace committees that you're talking about?
Ma'am, I have not actually encountered, but I have read it that in majority of the areas which have historically witnessed these things, there have been peace committees established and which meet regularly whenever such things arises. For example, ma'am, last year also in Delhi only there were a lot of revival of peace committees.
Do you know any models of riot control that have been used in the past and have been successful?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to exactly recall the name, but overall they follow the same framework of using the peace committees and the law enforcement agencies. And in the long term, they all try to ensure the development of the region to have a inclusive development. Thank you, ma'am.
So you are from Dehradun
Yes, sir.
and father belongs to Bijnor, mother belongs to Jaffna.
Yes, sir.
So can you remember ask you about the crime or something like that? So you did not explain it properly by giving data or something like that. What is in general the difference between Bijnor and Jaffna? They both belong to almost same area. Both have same type of climate, no water deficiency. In general, the difference.
So, sir, in general, I think the difference is more about the agro-based industries, which are more prevalent in Muzaffarnagar area as compared to Bijnor. Sir, apart from this, sir, Muzaffarnagar is a better place in terms of marketing because of its closeness to the Delhi NCR, whereas Bijnor is somewhat disconnected from this NCR belt. So these are the two reasons which I can recall.
Bijnor is more of agriculture
Yes.
and Muzaffarnagar is more of industry. Right? Okay. Famous personalities of Bijnor. Have any idea?
So right now I can recall Muhammad Shami. He is from Amroha. Apart from this, sir, sorry, sir, I have to read about it.
Bollywood personalities.
Bollywood personality. Sorry, sir, I am not able to recall.
Ash Mehra.
Actually, okay.
Okay. You are from electricity. Your subject is
Yes, sir.
electricity losses from generation to the consumer. There are many I use. As a district administration or civil servant, how will you, using your technical expertise, will try to reduce these losses or make it almost invisible?
Sir, basically losses takes place in three areas. First is generation, second is transmission, and third is the distribution. So in generation, in my area, I will try to encourage the industries, the who are producing power, to improve the latest technology like supercritical technology thermal power plant, and to integrate it with the renewable energy like solar rooftop. So this will reduce the generation losses. And in terms of transmission losses, I will try to use the aerial bunch conductor, which are more efficient in transmission of power. And third thing is with respect to distribution. So I will try to increase the collection and billing efficiency by focusing on smart meters. So these are the three major steps which I will take care of this year. Thank you, sir.
You are from Dehradun.
Yes, sir.
There are two small rivers, Indal and Krishna.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between these?
Sorry, sir, I have to read about
One goes to Ganga, other goes to Yamuna.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is a dividing line.
Okay.
Yeah. And Namami Gange is a famous project of government of India. And which are the states involved in?
So the first one is Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. There is one more state I am not able to
One
recall.
more.
I am not able to recall. I think it is Jharkhand.
Jharkhand.
Yes.
So, Doon. There is connect between Dehradun and Afghanistan. Do you have some idea?
Dehradun and Afghanistan. Sorry, sir, I am not aware about it.
There is called Afghanistan Haveli or something like that in Dehradun.
Afghanistan Haveli. Sorry, sir, I have to read about it.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay. You see, your name, Abdullah, is named after?
Sir, its meaning is servant of God. Because of its meaning, my mother gave this name.
Yes, but it was originally the name of
Prophet Muhammad's father. Yes.
By this name, a very famous mosque, soon to be famous mosque, is going to be constructed. Where?
Sir, it will be established in Ayodhya with the name Muhammad bin Abdullah.
What are the features of this mosque? How is it going to be different from, say, the Jama Masjid or any other mosque?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about the intricacies, but sir, as far as I can recall, sir, it will not be only mosque. It will be a complex having a hospital, library, and and a mosque. These are the three things I can recall.
Read about it. It's a very colossal concept.
Okay,
Okay.
sir, I will read about it.
Since you run the ILM Foundation,
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you this question. What was the first word mentioned by the Almighty to the Prophet?
Sir, as per my limited understanding, it was about ilm only, about knowledge.
What was the word? Ikra.
Ikra is.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, if Ikra was so important, and I ask this to have your views on the comparative lesser amount of skilling or education-oriented skilling among the Muslim young boys and girls. Since you are running an institute like that, how is it that the advent of knowledge somehow missed them after centuries of such excellent educational background? There was a proper Arab civilization. So much of emphasis on knowledge and learning. How is it that experimentation and scientific discoveries and inventions, they took a backseat?
Yes,
In
sir.
fact, if I recall, I have read that the Prophet even instructed his followers, इल्म की तलाश में अगर आपको दुनिया के छोर पे भी जाना पड़े, चीन भी जाना पड़े, because at that time China was the last frontier, right? वहाँ भी जाइए, कुछ कहा है ना ऐसा?
Yes, sir. Like, sir, the overall essence was to focus on gaining knowledge.
So where did people miss out? What was the policy distortion? Half a minute, somehow.
Sir, as per my analysis, there have been historical, social, as well as economical factors. So if we go to the historical factors, with the rise of the Islamic kingdom, there have been more focus on elitism rather than
Are you talking about the Ottoman Empire?
is the Ottoman Empire and the other empire after that. Like, so we can talk about Mughals as well. So which led to elitism, and they had started like losing a focus on the research and knowledge because they were involved into a lot of elitism. And yes, sir, with respect to the recent context, there have been a lot of social and economical problems. For example, sir, there have been a lot of economic disparity among the minorities as well, which is leading to a lot of finance-induced dropout.
Are you referring to the Sachar report?
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Give me 2-3 examples out of it or observations from the Sachar committee.
Sir, as per such a committee report, the educational status and employment status of a minority community is even much almost at comparable level to the SCs and STs. Apart from this, sir, there have been lot of employment status is mostly informal sector, which is leading to economic insecurity. And sir, because of these things, it has recommended establishing various institutions, like example RCA, to help the community.
All right. Yeah, I know that you know. Now tell me one little thing. The UCC, which has been passed in, it has been referred to, of course, but in the UCC, as in Uttarakhand, what are the recommendations or what are the features of that particular UCC Act which positively affect, it will bring reforms in apart from Muslims, in other communities, including Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, etc. Because everybody keeps on talking about it's going to affect the Muslim laws of inheritance, laws of marriage, Sharia. It's very Sharia oriented, the entire debate. Whereas there are lots of features there which are going to bring reforms into the Hindu community. What are those? Have you gone through that?
Yes. Sir, firstly, I would like to say that focusing narrowly on a Sharia debate is a very misinformed decision because the ultimate aim of UCC is to ensure gender equality and empowerment.
That having been said.
Yes, sir. And so, like said, it has various provisions. Like sir, in marriage, it has ensured that uniform age of 18 years and 21 years for boys and girls across all religions. Second, sir, it has modified the inheritance law, which will give equal property rights to both girls and boys.
In which religion or which part is it going to reform the Hindu society? I want you to focus on that. We're talking generalities, you
Yes,
see. I'm not on that.
Sir, I want to think. Maybe I think for 15 seconds on this.
Sure, or we will skip the question. We can go to
Yes, sir.
another question.
I will give it a try.
Please do.
Sir, one of the most important one which I can recall right now is with respect to inheritance right. Earlier there used to be that particularly with respect to co-partner right.
Mhm.
Sir, earlier, sorry sir, I think I have to read more about it. Because I'm
Read
not able
about
to-
it. No great problem about it. Okay, in this direction of providing education to the minority community, Muslims specifically, to what extent is something happening in the madrasas in Assam? Have you read about it?
Sir, I have read there have been removal of illegal construction in the form of madrasa.
No.
And so there have been
The curriculum has been changed. What is being given to the students to enable their skilling and learning.
okay, sir. Yes, sir. I have read that there is a lot of a drive going on to modernize the madrasa curriculum as well
That's
as
the thing. So, have you read about it? Shall we talk about it?
Sir, I have read it in a general manner, not
Okay, please go.
okay.
Okay, I'm asking you a very, very general question. In the last 7 days, you would have read the newspapers.
Yes, sir.
Give me within 30 seconds the important happenings around the world or India or wherever or in your house, whatever you have read in the newspapers. Let me see you summarize. That's what I want. Let me see you summarize the events in 30 seconds.
Okay, sir. So, firstly, with respect to international domain, Israel has been preparing ground offensive in Rafah area.
Okay, one.
Sir, and with respect to economic thing, sir, RBI has kept the repo rate at 6.5% only.
Okay.
And sir, and with respect to manufacturing sector, there have been a lot of semiconductor companies which have filed the application for setting a manufacturing plant, especially packaging. It's a Micron and H&G Power.
Very good.
It's, and so the fourth thing is in sports domain, Davis Cup is happening as well as there was Under 19 World Cup, which concluded yesterday.
Okay, you still have 5-10 seconds. 5-7 seconds.
And so, with respect to domestic thing, recently Bharat Ratna has been awarded to 3 more candidates.
So total,
Now, total we have 5 Bharat Ratna this year.
how many maximum can be given?
The maximum it can be given 5 only.
Is it by some law or is it by practice? Is it written somewhere only 5 per year max?
Sorry, sir, I'm not exactly aware about the legal backing of this. But I have read that maximum 5 can be given.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just asking you. I'm just trying to ruffle you up.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about it.
No, I'm ruffling you up. So the answer is, to the best of my knowledge, it is this.
Okay.
Veterans, don't feel ashamed of the fact that there is a law which says that only 5 can be given. Okay.
Okay.
It's not your fault, it's not my fault. Okay, we come to the end of the interview. What do you think are your positive and negative points?
The positive was that I was able to tackle mostly the
Yes.
technical questions and the current events which mostly have been asked. And the negative was that my pace of communication was very fast. And sir, I have not prepared much about which normal and minute things. These are the things I can
See, why are we asking what Bijnor is that? Because that's what's there in your DAF. So if it's in your DAF, what will the interview board have? Either your DAF or today's newspaper, current affairs, in other words. So as long as you have an appreciation of the current affairs, and as long as you have mastery over your own DAF, a lot of work is already done. All right? And there will be some questions which will be meant to provoke you, confuse you, give you put you under pressure. How you handle them, that's what this interview is all about. One advice I will give you. Your voice is here and then within this bandwidth. It should be here, slightly louder, and it should take the expression. A well-modulated voice rises and falls with the emotions, right? And you talk faster or you go slower, depending on how you want to emphasize what. So kindly go through some voice modulation exercises at home.
Okay.
Right? Read from some novel loudly or some newspaper. You see how the news anchors read.
Yes.
Not certain channels whom I don't want to name. Look at the BBC. They take, there's a lot, in fact, the job of the BBC anchor, it comes after a great scrutiny. Not everybody can be there, you know. So learn to modulate your voice. What I am trying to say here is the monotone of your voice is giving the impression that you know lesser than you do, or that you are giving a routine answer, whereas what you are giving is fairly well thought out answers. Okay, one is that. The other is I did not see much eye movement. You are not sort of gazing at the other members while you are writing. Thirdly, yeah, that's it. That's what I want to say.
Like nothing to my side. When is your interview schedule?
It is yet to come.
It is yet to come. More than a month.
Yes.
Yes. That's wonderful. Don't relax. The knowledge gap, whatever you have, it's up to you. I don't want to add. You, since you belong to UP, the facts and figures of UP should be at your fingertips. Okay. And similarly, some economic data of the country. And also the legal institutes. Like suppose there can be a question comparing Pakistan with India. When you're comparing. So
These thought-provoking questions.
So anything can be asked of that, and whatever is happening in India and around the world, cap of that. And newspaper, you should not only read, you should study as you've done your engineering. The way you study your engineering. Similarly, from now onwards, make sure that you don't miss out on the important items and keep updating. There are certain incidents, like say, for example, what happened in Bareilly, what happened in Haldwani. So you should go deep into that. What is happening in Manipur? Why this crisis is not yet solved? What do you foresee when this Gaza Hamas problem will be solved? What will happen to Ukraine? What happens if Trump comes back to power? What will happen in Pakistan?
Pakistan's elections.
Would you like to have a disintegrated Pakistan or complete Pakistan as it is?
The big of all those, the Baloch problem.
Yeah,
The Baloch and Sindh problem.
So what I advise is you take off, make a question bank of about 100 or
Make it 300.
Yeah.
All
time तुम्हारे पास 300 question bank. एक पूरा एक question bank बना लो from your lab. Every word from your lab can be a source of possible question. Prepare that question, prepare an answer to that question, and write it down. कुछ points जो है, bullet points में आप लिख लीजिए. तो उसके बाद फिर आपके एग्जाम के टाइम में इंटरव्यू के टाइम में यू कैन इजीली rattle out what
This Kisan Andolan, you have to, by the time your interview date comes, a lot will have happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Compared to the last Kisan Andolan, what were the debates going on? Okay, and well analyzed approach on this. Okay.
And the golden rule is, if you don't know the answer to the question, you say, I'm sorry, I don't know. उसमें ये चक्कर में इनको जवाब देना ही, you're not obliged to give answer to each question. Okay.
Topic based preparation, that is one. But reason behind that event or topic, that intent or intention, that should be given in your own words. And other is you have already marked that. So that is
Take it.
your
Okay. All right. Thank you. All the best.